Today, if you're up for it, let's start with a short exercise. So imagine, if you will, that you exist as a vast sphere of golden light. Some people find it easiest to do this with eyes closed. And now imagine that each point inside that sphere is a living being. And in fact, you're so vast that you include all living beings as dancing points of light inside you. And now find a single specific dancing point that is me. And so here, as this golden sphere, you are everything, all life, and I am a part of you. And now let that go. Now, still with eyes closed, if that's what works best for you, place your attention gently on me. Imagine that I am a vast golden sphere, that every point within me is a living being, and that I contain all life. And find the specific single point in me that is you. And here, I am everything, and you are a part of me. And now let that go. And to conclude, imagine, if you will, placing the vast golden sphere that you are, that contains me, in one hand, and the vast golden sphere that I am, that contains you, in the other hand. And bringing your hands slowly and gently to the heart, maintaining the part everything constitution of both spheres. As they merge, you are everything, and I am a part of you. And I am everything, and you are a part of me. Hello, hello, hello. It's Nicholas Rosinski here with week 12 of the Frontiers of Therapy and Spirituality Tour. This week, we will be looking at the essence of sacred attention, which naturally pervades and underpins Richard Harvey's sacred attention therapy, which continues to be the focus and centerpiece of our tour. For more about SAT and Richard's work, please visit www.centerforhumanawakening.com or go to the Center's YouTube channel, which you can get to by clicking on the link below this video. Last time I promised to talk about radical forgiveness and how SAT is a modality or vehicle for radical forgiveness. And in fact, the brief exercise that we just did will help us to explore both the essence of SAT and how it actualizes radical forgiveness. And in fact, the exercise will form a foundation that will enable us to go even further into what I call extended radical forgiveness. To look at all of that, let's start with you. In truth, you are everything, and I am an aspect or non-separate part of that everything. And this is also true of me. I am also everything, and you are an aspect of me. Or, depicted simply, now perhaps you can see where this is going. Starting with you as everything, this blue dot is me as an aspect of you, but that me is also an everything that contains you. Conversely, I am the everything that you as the green dot is a part or aspect of, and that green dot is also itself an everything that contains me. So what happens when both things are going on, when we are both everything and both aspects of each other? Well, actually, this is always going on because it's the relational character of week 2's real reality. So what happens when one or both of us is able to give actual attention to this actual relational character? not as imagination, not as a practice or exercise, but as a free arising. Well, this is sacred attention. Obviously, I can't do this any justice in this fleeting moment, so please take a look at part 5 of Richard Harvey's book, Your Divine Opportunity, which is devoted totally to sacred attention. Really, we should stop here and spend a few hours with this, or a few lifetimes. But I'm going to press on because I want to talk briefly about radical forgiveness, and then go beyond even the extraordinary configuration depicted here, right to the furthest frontiers. So attention to the actuality of this relational configuration is sacred attention, and this attention is radical forgiveness because it acknowledges or witnesses the relational character of non-separation. Witnessing the non-occurrence of X must dispel guilt about X, and forgiveness is another word for the relinquishment of guilt. Now, although this configuration is the essence both of SAT and of radical forgiveness, what we've really been talking about so far, going back to week 4's viewpoint, is the essence of SAT-AB. That is, when we start to differentiate between different versions or instances of everything, the everything that you and I are is the created everything, which is also very loosely Advaita Vedanta's true self or Buddha nature, recalling week 4's qualifications about the gross oversimplification of putting Vedanta and Buddhism together like this. Now going all the way back to week 2, there's another kind or version of everything, namely the self-creating everything or the ground of being. It's this everything, the ground of being or GOB, that creates the created everything by intensifying itself in a non-separate way. Now, although the creation arrow only goes one way from the ground to us, there is a two-way relational arrow. And when this relationship is open, unobstructed, unfettered, we call it communion. And the created everything in communion with the ground is what I loosely call Christ consciousness, again, as discussed in week 4. Now here we have, partially, the essence of SAT-C, instead of SAT-AB. And finally, and this is a very partial and abbreviated depiction of what I showed in a bit more detail in week 3, when there's a disruption of our relationship with the ground, some of the energy arising from the disruption gets repackaged in what we call matter, which in turn temporarily plays a role in the illusion of separation involved in that disruption. Now, fortunately, when the ground created everything, it also created the ARC, the agency that restructures consciousness, as an insurance policy and troubleshooting function to undo the disruption, undo the illusion of separation, and awaken matter. Now, recognizing all this in conjunction with the Science 5 that can address matter, both in quantitative precision and spiritual authenticity, is what I call SAT-C++. And when actual attention actually touches all of this, not as an abstract picture or hypothesis, but as something that is actually here now, we have what I call extended radical forgiveness. Whether it's in the therapy room or in any form of spiritual practice or relationship, this is a leading edge, a furthest frontier right now. At its heart, it has the extraordinary revelation of sacred attention as originally articulated by Richard Harvey, but it also adds the highest note in communion with the ground and the lowest note in a meeting with the true nature of matter. I'm Nicholas. Thanks for watching. See you next time.